Walk down any street, look around you. The hustle and bustle of daily life surrounds you, with people going about their routines, unaware of the silent stories etched into the very fabric of the city. You'll likely see them, ghosts of brands past. These are the remnants of once thriving businesses that have now faded into obscurity, faded logos on vacant buildings. These signs, now barely legible, once stood as proud symbols of success and innovation. Empty storefronts, names once familiar now gathering dust. They serve as a stark reminder of the ever-changing nature of the marketplace. Remember that electronic gadget everyone had to have? It was the talk of the town, a must-have item that promised to change our lives. Remember those shoes that promised to revolutionize running? They're gone. Once hailed as the pinnacle of athletic innovation, now they're just another forgotten trend. Ask someone about these brands today. Their responses will tell you everything you need to know about the fleeting nature of consumer memory. You might get a blank stare or a shrug. These reactions highlight how quickly we move on from what once seemed indispensable. Maybe a faint flicker of recognition, a distant memory of a brand that once held a place in their daily lives. The brands that once felt invincible have vanished from memory. Their absence is a testament to the relentless march of time and change. Their stories serve as a powerful reminder that no matter how strong a brand may appear, it's never safe from the shifting forces of the market. No brand, no matter how promising, is guaranteed to last. The overgrown parking lots and abandoned malls stand as silent witnesses to this truth. The marketplace is a battleground for attention, with every brand vying for a moment in the spotlight, hoping to capture the consumer's interest. Consumers are bombarded with choices. From the moment they wake up to the time they go to bed, they are inundated with advertisements and brand messages. Every day brings a tidal wave of information, making it harder than ever for any single brand to truly stand out. In this chaotic environment, brands must fight to be remembered. They need to create a lasting impression that resonates with their audience. To do that, they must carve out a space in people's minds, a space earned through creativity, persistence, and a deep understanding of consumer behavior. Those who fail to adapt risk fading into obscurity, their products and services reduced to relics of the past, forgotten by the very people they once captivated. This is a wake-up call, a call for brands to rethink their strategies and stay relevant. It is a guide to understanding why brands disappear. By learning from the past, we can better navigate the future. More importantly, it's a roadmap to ensuring your brand not only survives, but thrives in the long run. By staying adaptable and deeply connected to your audience, you can build a brand that stands the test of time. Let's rewind the clock to the early 2000s. Remember PalmPilots? These were the days when technology was just beginning to weave itself into the fabric of our daily lives. The PalmPilot was more than just a gadget, it was a symbol of the future. These sleek devices were at the forefront of the PDA revolution. They were compact, stylish, and incredibly functional for their time. They promised to organize your life, offering a digital solution to manage contacts, calendars, and tasks. It was like having a personal assistant in your pocket. PalmPilots were everywhere, from boardrooms to college campuses. The brand was innovative, it was popular. Professionals and students alike found them indispensable. It seemed destined for lasting success. The PalmPilot was not just a tool, it was a status symbol, an essential gadget for anyone serious about staying organized and ahead of the curve. But something happened on the road to market dominance. The tech world is ever evolving, and staying at the top requires constant innovation and adaptation. Palm struggled to keep pace with the evolving technological landscape. The brand became complacent. Then came the iPhone, a game-changer in every sense. Apple's creation wasn't just a phone, it was a revolutionary device that combined a phone, an iPod, and an internet communicator all in one. It was a cultural phenomenon. People lined up for hours, even days, to get their hands on the first iPhone. It was more than a product, it was a statement, something that symbolized innovation and status. It redefined how we interact with mobile technology. With its intuitive design and rapidly growing app ecosystem, the iPhone quickly overshadowed the PalmPilot, making the once revolutionary PDA feel outdated and clunky. Today, Palm is a sobering reminder of just how fast the tech world moves, and how even the pioneers can fall behind if they don't evolve. The rise and fall of the PalmPilot is a sharp reminder that staying ahead takes constant innovation and a close eye on market trends. And Palm wasn't alone. Once mighty Kodak didn't just sell film, it sold memories. For over a century, it was the name in photography. But here's the twist. In 1975, Kodak invented the first digital camera. They had the future in their hands, literally, but they shelved it, afraid it would cannibalize their film business. Meanwhile, competitors like Canon and Sony went all in on digital. Kodak hesitated, and by the time they tried to catch up, it was too late. In 2012, They filed for bankruptcy. The irony, the very technology that could have saved them was theirs all along. Success requires more than just a great product. It demands foresight, agility, and the willingness to evolve. In the fast-paced world of technology, relevance is fleeting. Brands that don't evolve or connect meaningfully with their audience risk fading into obscurity, no matter how groundbreaking they once were. The demise of a brand is rarely sudden. It's a gradual decline, often unnoticed until it's too late. Brands don't just vanish overnight. They slowly fade into the background, becoming part of the noise consumers tune out. This slow fade happens as they lose distinctiveness and relevance, blending into a crowded marketplace where countless others fight for attention. Several factors contribute to this decline. It's not just one thing. It's a chain reaction of missteps and missed opportunities. First, there's a lack of emotional resonance. Brands that fail to connect emotionally with their audience are at a significant disadvantage. People forget what you said, they forget what you sold, but they remember how you made them feel. That feeling, it's the heartbeat of your brand. Lose that and you lose everything. BlackBerry once made people feel powerful, in control, ahead of the curve, but the world changed, and BlackBerry didn't. And it's not just tech brands. Remember Friday nights at Blockbuster? The excitement of picking a movie, the smell of popcorn, the late fees we all hated? Blockbuster was a cultural institution until it wasn't. At its peak, it boasted over 9,000 stores worldwide, but when Netflix introduced DVDs by mail and later streaming, Blockbuster clung to its brick-and-mortar model. In 2000, Netflix even offered to sell themselves to Blockbuster for $50 million. Blockbuster laughed them out of the room. Today, Blockbuster is a punchline. A nostalgic relic of a pre-digital age. The lesson? Adapt or die. Emotional relevance is oxygen. Without it, brands suffocate. Then comes poor differentiation. In a sea of similar offerings, standing out is crucial. When your message blends into the crowd, you become forgettable. When was the last time you thought about Yahoo or Sears? They blended in and consumers moved on. MySpace stopped innovating. Yahoo became everything and nothing. Sears forgot what made it special. The result? They got buried in the scroll. Inconsistency doesn't help either. Every time your tone shifts, your audience second-guesses who you are. When a brand's message is unclear, it creates confusion, and confusion breeds distrust. And eventually they stop paying attention altogether. Remember Radio Shack? What did they stand for? Near the end. Even their most loyal customers couldn't say. But here's the real threat: cognitive overload. We live in a hyper-stimulated world. Thousands of ads, hundreds of messages, all vying for a single moment of attention. If your brand doesn't stick, it disappears. Most brands fight for relevance, but some, they never struggle. They don't just exist, they dominate. Think Apple, think Nike. These aren't companies, they're belief systems. Apple doesn't sell tech, it sells a mindset, a way of thinking different. Nike doesn't sell shoes, it sells the belief that you can overcome anything if you just start. It's not about a product, it's about identity, emotion, story. One story, told clearly, repeated endlessly, across packaging, ads, stores, apps, experiences. Their message never changes. It gets sharper, clearer, more powerful. That's why they're remembered. That's why they last. Because they know the secret. In a world that forgets fast, you only live as long as your story does. The brands that survive, they resonate, they differentiate, they stay consistent. Memorable brands don't happen by accident. They're designed, crafted, built with intention. It all starts with your brand's archetype, a way to show how your brand would act if it were a person. Every brand tells a story, so who are you? Are you the hero like Nike, the outlaw like Harley Davidson, the sage like Google, or the lover like Chanel? Your archetype shapes your brand's tone, message, and overall feel. It gives your audience something familiar to connect with. Choosing the right archetype provides a framework for your brand's personality and communication style. Next comes your brand voice. Are you bold and daring, warm and conversational, witty and clever, or serious and informative? Your brand voice should feel like a trusted friend, familiar, authentic, and someone your audience wants to hear from. Your brand voice should reflect your brand's personality and resonate with your target audience. Finally, ensure consistency across all channels. Your website, social media, packaging, and customer service should all reflect a unified brand identity. This consistency creates a seamless and memorable brand experience. If your brand feels like a mix of different personalities, you won't be remembered. You'll just be noise, archetype, voice, consistency. That's the trifecta behind every lasting brand. Here's the truth. Most brands will be forgotten, but yours doesn't have to be. Don't become another ghost in the marketplace. Start with emotional connection. Does your brand make people feel something? Next, build differentiation. What makes your brand the only choice? Embrace the power of emotional connection, differentiation, and consistent messaging. Tell your story with passion and authenticity. Remember, building a memorable brand is a marathon, not a sprint. It requires ongoing effort. Think of your brand like a relationship. The more effort you put in, the deeper the connection becomes. Do a brand checkup. Ask the tough questions. And if your answers aren't strong, don't wait. Act now before your brand fades into just another name no one remembers. The marketplace is crowded and noisy, but the brands that truly matter, the ones that connect, they rise above the noise. This is your moment, your opportunity to stand out and be unforgettable. Leave your mark, build a brand that endures, and whatever you do, don't fade into the background.